Hell, uh, what's going on, UFC fans? I'm back at it again, man. I'm here to do a video about UFC 122. Nate Marquardt versus Yushin Okami. Yushin Okami versus Nate Marquardt. I mean, what can I say? I knew that this would be a horrible fight card. I mean, absolutely terrible. If you want my opinion, I mean that's just my opinion. I don't know what the fuck y'all think. You understand what I'm saying? But I probably should have did predictions anyways. You know what I'm saying? Just because I love MMA. But really, I wanted to do it, but I just couldn't find enough energy to work myself up into doing it. I just did not want to do predictions for this fight card, and but you know, in the future, I will, despite how boring the fight cards are, I'll do them anyways. But uh, I don't know, man. I'm kind of a loss for words right now. I just really cannot fucking believe, dude. There was not one good fight in my personal opinion. Like there may have been a slightly entertaining fight, like the Petrozelli fight. I don't know the other guy's name, the one who's like almost like a fucking King Kong type dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I want to get into that fight a little bit first. Yeah, that dude, I really don't know his name. Maybe you guys do. You could tell me. But Seth Petrozelli fight, that guy had a lot of power, man. I was kind of excited to see Seth back in there. I think he's a good fighter, but I just feel like he had a lot of tough breaks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't really get a chance to perform at his full potential. But what can you do, man? This guy's just not destined to stay in the UFC for long. Every time he comes back, he gets his ass whooped and gets thrown back out. Once the fight comes back, I don't know. But this guy that he was fighting was a very powerful guy with absolutely no technique fucking ever. You talk about a guy more inexperienced than Brock. When Brock Lesnar first fought Frank Mir, this guy had I didn't see any technique in his fighting at all, but he was just a very powerful guy. Now, if a guy like that learns jiu-jitsu, a guy like that learns how to do some Muay Thai striking and just some proper boxing and some head movement and learn how to defend, he's very vulnerable to submissions. Had he been caught in an armbar by anybody else, like there was just a really great submission artist, he'd be out of there. He wouldn't have got out of that armbar. But he was a very powerful guy. But moving on, I'm not gonna do every fight. The Andre Winter fight, don't know that guy very well, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen him fight a couple of times. But you gotta forgive me for that. There's a lot of people fight on this card I'm not very big fans of. And it's not just because they're not big stars. No, it has nothing to do with it. The point of it is, I like who I like, and I pay attention to who I pay attention. I don't who I don't. Plain and simple. If you don't like it, kill yourself. But now, no, seriously, I don't know, man. That was a decent fight. It was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular about it. But I saw that knockout coming from a mile away. I seen that guy. He has a lot of power in him. I could just see that power in him. You could just see power in his strikes. He wasn't a very technical striker, but I knew if all it took was one good punch to the chin, and I knew Winter was going down. Winter's very overrated to me. I don't know why people was all on his dick talking about, oh, he's so fast. He has some great boxing. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? This guy is okay. He knocked out that one guy, but alright. But like I say, I seen him get knocked out. I caught that before it happened, and it happened. Well, he didn't actually get knocked out. He got rocked on his way of getting knocked out, and then he got choked out. You know what I'm saying? So good job to the other guy who beat him. But second off, third off, I want to say Dwayne Lupgett. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. I seen him fight a lot of times. He's a good fighter. A good Muay Thai striker. But I feel like this fight actually could have been a draw almost. I don't know. This fight was kind of back and forth, but I don't know. I feel like this fight could have actually been scored a draw, but he won. He got the fight. Nothing too spectacular about that fight in my eyesight. Dwayne got rocked a little bit, but he came back and he did his thing, man. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I'm just kind of, man. My mind is kind of fucked up right now, because the main event, just sucks so bad, But I'll get into that a little bit, I was really looking forward to this main event, not to the fight card, but to the main event. Even though I knew it would be boring, but I didn't think it would be this boring. Moving on to the now just let me get to the main event right now. Fuck all that other shit. Let me talk about this main event, man. Let me get into that, because I can hardly function doing this video right now. I can barely even take my mind off of the main event. Nate Marquardt, what the fuck is your problem, bro? Like, seriously, dude, what is your fucking problem? You talk how bad I want this title, and I'm gonna get this title shot. You're gonna get this. Dude, man, I got news for you, man. It's probably a good thing you didn't get the title shot to fight Anderson Silva, because, man, I got a feeling you might have done more of a horrible job than you fucking did last time. And you know what? I'm a very big fan of Nate Marquardt. I'm a huge fan. That's why I'm so disappointed right now. Man, this guy ought to be kicking himself in the ass. You go out there, you got a fucking title shot on the line where you could be the #1 contender, you know, for the next in line to get the title shot, and you don't let it all hang out. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he tried harder when he fought Chael Sonnen. I think that kind of had him shook, knowing that Yushin Okami might have been a better wrestler than him. So I just think Marquardt was very tentative in this fight. He even let Marquardt outstrike him. I mean, he even let fucking Okami outstrike him at times, backing him up, continuing to put the pressure on him, even though that is Okami's game plan. But I'm starting to see now Nate Marquardt does not really respond well to pressure. He doesn't really do good against guys who knows how to continuously back him up no matter how many hard punches that he's throwing. In this case, and in this fight, this particular fight, Nate Marquardt didn't throw very many hard punches at all. He threw a few, but I can't say Okami does have a good chin, the only time I've really seen Okami get knocked out was by Anderson Silva when he threw that illegal up kick when Okami was on his knees and he beat Anderson by disqualification. But I don't see either of these guys beating Anderson, but I give Yushin Okami more of a chance just because he's a wrestler. But Nate Marquardt did good in his wrestling in this fight. He was able to get a few takedowns on Okami. Okami was able to get some takedowns on Nate, but the fact that I think he was able to hold Nate down a lot longer than Nate was able to hold him down. So that was kind of, I know that kind of scored big in the eyes of the judges as well. And just the pressure that Okami was able to put on Marquardt, it played big into the eyes of the judges because they just looking for a guy. He was bringing the fight to Marquardt, even though nobody was really hurting each other or anything like that. But Marquardt was steady backing up. At times he just had his hands completely down, just kind of moving. It's almost like he had been drugged or something. Like, he just didn't look like himself. And I know he has way more potential than that, man. Like, I mean, he's more talented than that. You know what I'm saying? I know people go through things sometimes. To me, he looked a little kind of frail. He looked a little smaller than usual. I don't know. He didn't seem to be in great shape, knowing that this was a #1 contender spot. He looked like he kind of gassed a little bit. That's just my opinion. But Okami looked like his usual self to me. He came in ready, and he fight like he always fights, and he might have stepped it up just a notch. And I had a feeling Okami would win this fight, but I was rooting for Nate just because Nate is a stand-up artist. But he didn't look so great in this fight. Nate the Great, you didn't look so great, man. Your stand-up didn't look that good. He was wishy-washy, man. I was starting to think, like, man, is this a joke? Like, seriously, are you putting on a comedy show right now? You're fucking backing up, man. You're not throwing these. At least if Nate Marquardt would have went in that octagon trying to take Okami's head off every chance he got, just constantly swinging at Okami, I think maybe those takedowns that Marquardt got against Okami, they would have played bigger into the hands of the judges. Okay, you would have had a guy trying to go for broke here, trying to just let it all hang out, trying to take the other guy's head off, even though he's not really doing it. But at least the effort that he's showing, instead of just backing up, always backing up and throwing these little punches. I don't know what type of plan they had going in this fight, but I just think maybe the judges would have probably seen something more, and the fight could have probably went to him. Either way, it was just an all-around terrible fight, horrible fight. I would never watch it for a second time. It was terrible. And anybody who thinks this fight was a good fight, in my opinion, you need help. Stay off the drugs. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. You guys let me know, man. I'm disappointed in my boy. And the reason why I can say I'm so disappointed right now, gotta excuse me, because, like I say, Nate Marquardt is one of them. He's one of my favorite fighters. But I do say I think a lot of people underestimate Okami's jab. Okami does have a nice stiff jab, and I think the reason being that he's so tall, you know what I'm saying, and he got that reach out there, man. I'm telling you, man, if you don't know how to fight a guy like Okami, man, you're getting your ass whooped. But shame on Marquardt for not letting it all hang out, man. He had this opportunity. I don't think he'll be getting another shot at that title, man, for a while. He had several chances. He fought for the belt once. He got beat down. That and then he had a chance to beat Chael. Who knows? Chael might have been on steroids, if you ask me, because they say he tested positive for steroids against Anderson. So who knows? He might have been on steroids even when he fought Nate Marquardt. I don't know. Don't want to take anything against him. I'm not really a Chael Sonnen fan, but he does have some great wrestling. But that's another story. He lost that fight, and he had another opportunity to fight for the title again, and he let it just slip completely out of his hands, away from him. It's almost like he just didn't want it bad enough. I don't know, man. I don't know what this guy, he cracks under pressure or something. I don't know. It's kind of reminds me of a Kenny Florian almost. He does so good, but when he get in these real high level big fights, he kind of chokes, and I think that was the issue here. Maybe Marquardt choked a little bit. I don't know, man. He didn't seem to have that confidence that he always has in his hands. But then again, it is kind of hard, when you're going against a guy that tall with that much reach. But who knows, man? It could be anything. I wasn't in there. It's a lot different on the inside. But from what I can see, it just does not look like Nate Marquardt tried hard enough at all. And like I said, I know he wants that title shot, but he just need to be. This may be a blessing in disguise, because had he would have went in there and fought Anderson Silva like he fought Yushin Okami tonight, he would have got his head kicked into the 7th row. Period. And I don't give a damn how many takedowns he scored. He would have either got submitted or knocked the fuck out more brutal than he did last time on the ground. So Okami, he poses a very small threat to Anderson. To me, Okami has a pretty good chin. He has okay submissions, but I really don't see a way that he can beat Anderson. I just see Anderson kind of like picking Okami apart for all 5 rounds and possibly knocking him out. So there you have it. I don't want to count out Vitor Belfort, because Anderson is fighting Vitor Belfort. So Okami could fight either Vitor or Anderson. And Vitor, yeah, he has a puncher's chance against Anderson, but just going in there and completely outclassing Anderson, not a fucking chance. It would never happen. He's not a better fighter. He's not a better striker than Anderson Silva. No way. And if you ask me, I've never really. I think Vitor Belfort, he's got some decent jiu-jitsu, decent ground game, but I don't think it's better than Anderson's. Although I do think Anderson's ground game is a slight bit overrated, but it is rated. He does have a good ground game. He has some good jiu-jitsu. I just think at times it's a bit overrated, just because he's able to rep his, he's always able to get that that triangle around your body, sometimes that lock around your body, your waist, and hold you there, and and he pull off his moves. I never really seen him pull off an arm bar or anything else except for a triangle, and that's good. It works for him. But just people have a way of people just have a way of overrating people all the time. And although he is, my opinion, the pound for pound best fighter in the world right now, but I don't know, man. Let's just see what happens, man. I was about to say, yeah, of course, Anderson Silva, of course he submitted Chael Sonnen. If you ask me, Chael Sonnen is the most vulnerable guy to submissions in the whole sport. But the fact that it was a lot riding on it that time for him, and it was a title a fight, yeah, of course he was going to tighten up on his submission defense, of course. But like I say, he didn't tighten up good enough, At the end, he got his ass submitted, due to triangle choke. So, Chael Sonnen, he got submitted by Damian Maia, one of the best in the game, so you can't really talk about that. But at the same time, he did get submitted by him very quickly. Submitted by Bob Lou a while back when he used to fight at 205. A couple of guys in the WEC, I think. And I just seen a lot of videos, in Chael Sonnen's videos, this guy getting tapped out, man. This guy's just like, submissions are his kryptonite, But thank God they have that, because I don't know what they would do against a guy like Chael Sonnen, if he was able to really wrestle like that, and he did not need the performance enhancement. And this guy, basically, if he had great submission defense, this guy probably would be unbeatable in his weight class, because his wrestling is just so dominant. But like I said, didn't mean to get into all that, but I had to kind of back it up with another backup story, just because that fight night was just so terrible to me. Well, the UFC 22, he was dreadful. So, yeah, man, you guys let me know what you think about this, man. I'm disappointed in this fight card. So, until next time, you guys leave your comments, rate and subscribe.